This third video produced by the town of Gibson summarizes the results of the geotechnical review for the George Hotel and Residences. On October 6, 2015, the George development received zoning approval from Council. Since this time, the developer has been preparing detailed designs for construction and site preparation. As part of the town's review process, aquifer protection has been a crucial and ongoing focus of design review. Plans have been prepared by the developer's geotechnical and hydrogeological specialists. In addition, extensive peer reviews by experts working for the town have been completed. Gibson's aquifer protection. The Gibson's aquifer is the drinking water source for a large part of the town. The aquifer consists of an underground layer of gravel and sand that contains groundwater. The aquifer is protected by other layers of soil with enough resistance and hardness to confine the aquifer, collectively called the aquitard, and these layers effectively close off the aquifer from the ground surface. The developer's geotechnical engineers and environmental professionals have completed additional field investigations to collect more information about the ground conditions at the site, including information about the aquitard and Gibson's aquifer. Additional information was collected about existing soil contamination from past industrial uses. The project's experts were also asked to address questions raised by the town's peer reviewers. The peer review process has been an additional safeguard put in place as part of the rezoning process. Site contamination and remediation. The environmental professionals have mapped the site contamination in more detail. The types of contamination found at the site are typical of past marine-related industrial uses. The soil contamination consists of metallic substances from boat and metal repair work and fuel-related contaminants. The site contamination was found to be localized and limited to upper layers of the soil at a safe distance from the Gibson's aquifer. The developer's remediation plan is to remove all contaminated soils from the land and seabed for disposal at authorized locations elsewhere. Site preparation plan. The geotechnical engineers have updated their design and method of construction for the foundation of the building. As part of the rezoning process, the elevation of the building was raised to create more space between the building's foundation and the Gibson's aquifer. The developer's experts have now selected a method of shallow foundation design that relies on a base of improved and fortified soils. After removing some of the existing fill materials, this method mixes the upper loose layers of the site soils with grout. A firm base for the foundation of the buildings will be created. This is done through a technique called deep mixing. About deep mixing. The deep mixing is a technique that improves native soils by adding grout without removing the soil. The process includes a staged construction such that only a localized portion of the ground is to be removed at each stage until it is strong enough to support the foundation. At each stage, the soils will be mixed with a deep mixing tool without removing the soil while injecting a grout mix. After the mixture of soil and grout has settled and firmed up, a next stage of mixing will be carried out until gradually covering the building footprint of the site with improved ground to support the foundations. Deep mixing avoids disturbing the Gibson's aquifer. As part of the construction process, every portion of land to be mixed is evaluated to minimize the depth of soil improvement. It needs to be deep enough to reach firm-bearing layers, but shallow enough to ensure that there is no adverse effect on the Gibson's aquifer. Risk management. Risk management is very important to the town. The additional site investigations showed that the soil conditions are variable on the site. A geotechnical engineer and a hydrogeologist will be present to monitor the deep mixing process and address any issues that may arise. Environmental professionals will oversee the removal of contaminated soil and sediments. The town has required a contingency plan to prepare for any complications that may arise. Although issues are not expected, the contingency plan requires that equipment and materials needed to address any aquifer-related problems are readily available on-site during the deep mixing. The construction team must be prepared at all times to quickly and effectively address any issues that may arise related to the Gibson's aquifer. Timing of site work. First, additional site investigations and the remediation of site contamination will take place. This will take approximately 2 to 4 months. Secondly, after the removal of the contaminants, deep mixing will start and take approximately 2 to 4 months. Once the deep mixing is completed, the actual construction of the hotel and condominium building will start. Total construction time of the project until completion is expected to take approximately 30 months. Previous reports and materials about the review for this project will continue to be posted on the town's website. You can also like the town on Facebook and stay informed on development updates. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with your family and friends.